her expressive language would be that of, say, an 18-month-old.
There's
trees. Good girl.
Put her into a normal mainstream school with 500 kids. And you sort of think, how's she going to go on the playground? To be honest, really, there's probably more negative things that we can see than positives in a mainstream school for her.
6-year-old Cassie Torrance's family just want the best out of life for her. And they have to speak up for her because she can't.
And what have you got, Jordan?
If she could, Cassie would tell you she loves books. But Cassie can't say more than a handful of basic words. She has verbal dyspraxia, a speech disorder few people have heard of.
The ability to form words and say them out loud is something we all take for granted. Even simple words, for the brain to process them, has to go through complex interactions, pathways and wiring, and sometimes it just doesn't go according to the blueprint.
Back a
says
sausage. As long as a truck.
It's a problem with motor planning in the brain.
We've got
Cassie
some.
knows
are they
what she wants to
holding?
say, but
What
just
are
can't
they?
get the words out.
Apples? No.
bananas.
Bananas. Yum. You like bananas, don't you? Yeah.
Basically, the brain and the mouth work okay, but the messages in between are getting mixed, and it's very difficult to make any sort of normal sounds or formation of words.
When Cassie was born, she seemed like any other child.
It wasn't until she got to about 5 months she started getting the baby head lag, where her head would sort of just flop, and we thought that's not quite right. It had been fine up until then.
Who's going first?
The Torrances started on an endless round of visits to specialists as it became clear that Cassie wasn't talking like other children.
You gonna come down or not, Cassie?
Come down carefully, that's right.
It was nerve-wracking and frustrating because we knew that she had problems with the lack of head growth and the low muscle tone and that. And you sort of get taken to this person and they give her a check-up, and you're sort of watching what they're doing, and they're looking at the palms of their hands and the palms of their feet and what sort of nose they've got. And you wonder, what are you checking for? And then to be told that, hang on, no, she hasn't got that, she's actually got possibly something else. Your emotions just go all over the show. It was really, really hard.
Can you see what's on the front? Yeah, what is it? It's a little
Down.
girl.
Verbal dyspraxia was the eventual diagnosis.
Oh,
That's meant long
yeah.
hours teaching Cassie to
Okay.
consciously form
I wonder
words.
what she can say. Yeah, we're going to do the pointing. I
The
can. Look at mummy, not the. The.
Cassie's first 2 years at school have been at a special language unit with just 6 other children at Takapuna Primary School.
Sky.
But at the end of this year, she'll move into a mainstream classroom, a prospect that's got Kevin and Maria worried.
As a dad, the way she is now, I worry about the school she's going to now with only 6 kids in that one unit. Put her into a normal mainstream school with 500 kids. And you sort of think, how's she going to go on the playground? Is she going to get picked on?
With 6 children, you can imagine they know what they're dealing with speech and language problems, whereas with another school, they don't even know what verbal dyspraxia is.
With both parents working and the kids at different schools, it's a constant juggle. And it's a stretch financially as they pay for a speech language therapist to visit Cassie once a week. Delise Delaney has been working with Cassie for 2 years.
Hello, Cassie.
Hi.
How are you?
Day.
Can I come in?
Cassie understands most of what is said to her. Delise is trying to unlock her speech.
In the brain, you form a blueprint of what you're going to say. So, for example, if you want to produce the sound p, your brain automatically knows that you need to put your 2 lips together to form the p sound. In Cassie's case, that has broken down. So we have to teach her on a voluntary basis and practice how to form the p sound by putting the 2 lips together. And that's the motor planning movement that there's difficulty with.
There's no fast track to fluent speech, but Delise is pleased with Cassie's progress.
Stable. Who's going to live in there?
Horse.
She has made significant progress from non-verbal sounds that she used indiscriminately to being able to clearly articulate some words and even puts a few of those words in sentences. So the hope for the future is that we can get Cassie to communicate at a level where people outside the home can understand her very clearly.
He makes mistakes sometimes. Some are big dogs. And some are red dog. But I have the biggest, reddest cat on our street.
Dog.
Dog? Did I get that wrong? Cassie's speech may not be that great, but she definitely comprehends what's going on. So she put me right here. So it's definitely dog. Clifford's a dog. Okay.
Still, Kevin's not pinning all his hopes on Cassie developing complex speech. He feels they need to look at other options.
I've always said to Maria that we need a backup plan, i.e. of sign language, because she started very basic sign language early on, which was quite good, colours, lollies and that sort of thing.
I guess I don't have a backup plan. I'm just, trying to do lots of work with her and just continuing on from there, and hope and pray that she, doesn't need anything else.
Over the next 6 months, the Torrances start looking for a new school for Cassie. Their biggest fear is that Cassie won't cope in a mainstream classroom, but they've got no other choice. Cassie's not been eligible for teacher aid funding so far, but they're hoping this might change.
I think a lot depends on Cassie herself. If she clicks in with the group and follows the group of her classmates through the school structure, I think it would be good for her. She'll have a lot more opportunities to make friends and that sort of thing. But to be honest, really, there's probably more negative things that we can see than positives in a mainstream school for her.
In the meantime, family life goes on. Their hopes for Cassie are the same as any other families.
That she can live an independent life, she can get a job, and then she can move out of home and do everything that you and I do in our normal daily lives.